That's where we were about an hour ago. We're now approaching the largest home ever built here at the lake. Originally is known as Younglands, today it's known as Stone Manor. To debug some rumors that I've heard about this home over time, this was never the old Wrigley Mansion. This also was never the old Playboy Club. And my favorite, this was never El Capone's hideout. This is known as Stone Manor today. Contains more than 50 rooms, but it used to be called Younglands by a man named Otto Young. Now, Otto Young, he came here to the United States from a very wealthy family in the mid-1800s, but once he got here, he was virtually penniless. So what he started doing is he started making and selling costume jewelry from a pushcart on the sidewalks of New York City. Immigration took away most all of his money. Now, obviously, this home was not funded with pushcart sales. What he ended up doing is he saved up all of his money from his pushcart, and then at the time of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, he moved to Chicago and invested into the burnt out city. He bought a bunch of real estate for just pennies on the dollar. Now, a lot of people thought that this man was crazy because they said a couple things. They said, one, Chicago would never rebuild after the devastation of the fire. And two, if it did rebuild, it definitely wouldn't be in the same spot. Well, he wisely thought otherwise, and much of what he bought is now known as a downtown loop of Chicago. He built this home, and he originally had more of a modest budget set at $150,000. But that price skyrocketed closer to $2 million, which is very expensive today, but astronomical back in 1901. The reason that the price skyrocketed is because he put such elaborate additions onto the home, such as changing all the plumbing, electrical, and doorknobs on the main floor to 14-karat gold plated, with matching solid sterling silver on the second and bronze on the third. On the main floor, there's a beautiful ballroom, complete with a Tiffany crystal chandelier, huge mirrors, and an ornate pink marble fireplace. The hand-carved dining room table he had on the main floor could seat over 100 guests very comfortably. Also on the main floor, there's a parlor, library, music room, game room, butler's pantry, vast kitchen, smoker's lounge, and a partridge in a pear tree. The home had everything you guys could think of. The second and third floors, they're basically bedroom and bedroom suites with conjoining rooms. And the fourth floor there, it was designed for recreation, hence not having any windows. He had a 9-hole miniature golf course and a gymnasium on the fourth floor. The rooftop used to be a garden, but it wasn't an ordinary garden. He had 30 to 40-foot willow trees draping off the sides of the home. Well, after those willow tree roots grew through the ceiling, he then had to remove those, and now there is a 14-foot deep swimming pool on the upper right of the home where you see the guardrail. The 2-level basement was very elaborate, and it had a 3-lane bowling alley, huge laundry and drying rooms, a mammoth coal storage room with a double boiler system, and an ice storage room. To heat this home for just one day in the cold winter months, it took a full train car full of coal, so it's a lot of money in the upkeep. What they'd also do in the winter is they'd harvest large blocks of ice out of the lake, and then they'd drag them up the hills, store them in the ice storage room, and then in the summer, they would have large fans blow air atop them through a ducting system, and that's a primitive form of air conditioning at that time. But Otto Young, he only enjoyed the home for about 5 years before his death. But the mansion remained in the family until 1939, when Otto Young's granddaughter presented the home and 8 acres of surrounding land to the Episcopal Church to be used as a private school for girls. That school failed financially, however. It's called St. Anne's. They barely could afford to heat the home, so they ended up failing financially, and financial problems have really plagued this home ever since. In the 1960s is when the home hit its lowest point. It's when Walworth County took it over for back taxes. A tax auction was held, and a developer bought this home and 8 acres of surrounding land for just $75,000. Now, a lot of people think that they missed out on a deal of a lifetime, but really you guys did not. That developer actually ended up going bankrupt. He tried to transform that main level into an elegant French restaurant known as a Stone Manor Inn. But that experienced financial problems and then was forced to close. Next came another developer, and he transformed it into the failed Christmas Tree Museum. And I really wonder why that one failed in the summer resort like Lake Geneva, but it did. But I think the developer who has it now has it right. Him and his wife have converted it into 5 luxury condominiums. There's one on the first floor, 2 on the second, and 2 on the third. One of the main condos on the main floor, it sold for $6.3 million, I believe, somewhere in the $6 million range. So it's quite a luxurious condominium development. But that is the story of the largest single-family home ever built here at the lake, originally known as Younglands and today known as Stone Manor. But as we approach the city of Lake Geneva here, I'm going to point out a couple landmarks before we tie up the boat. Right where the tree line ends there is the orange tile roof building. That is the Bella Vista Suites Hotel. Next door to that is the Victorian mansion-style structure. That is the Baker House. It's an elegant fine dining experience, an English tapas-style restaurant. Next door to that is the maroon-colored roof building. That is Harbor Shores Hotel, and attached to Harbor Shores is Gino's East Pizza, famous for their deep dish pizza. Great spot for dinner if you guys are hungry. Next door to that is the aqua-colored roof building. That is the Cove Hotel, and attached to the Cove is Sprecker's Restaurant, famous for their Sprecher root beer. Another good spot to eat. Where the tree line is there, that is Flatiron Park. And in Flatiron Park is a life-size statue of Andy Gump, the nation's first syndicated comic strip, which I talked to you guys about when we were passing Lorimore area. It's created by Sidney Smith. And the tallest building there in the city of Lake Geneva, that is the Geneva Towers. And to be completely honest with you guys, it's ugly. The reason I say that is 1, it is ugly, but 2, they had to tear down Frank Lloyd Wright's largest commission ever to build that, and that upset a lot of people here at the lake, let alone the state of Wisconsin. So now what they did is they made a law stating that you cannot build taller than the tallest treetop here anymore. So that will be the ugliest and tallest building in the area. And now where we're approaching the Riviera Docks, home of the Lake Geneva Cruise Line. This is where we can accommodate any party from 10 to 250. And in front of the Riviera Docks is the Riviera Ballroom. This used to feature the likes of Wayne King, Artie Shaw, the Dorsey Brothers, the great Louis Armstrong, and a young man no one really knew at the time, but now is very popular, Frank Sinatra. But now it's used as a civic center, and there's a lot of weddings had here throughout the years. It's about a 2-year wait to get in. So what I did is I put my name down on the list, and I'm looking for a Lake Geneva honey to marry 2 years down the road. But all jokes aside, guys, I really hope you did enjoy the tour. Just a couple things before we tie up the boat here. If you guys can look around, make sure you picked up any garbage that you may have left on the floor or any valuables. We'd hate for you guys to lose anything. Also, if you guys dropped any curtains, if you can please put them back up, that'd help out a great deal as well. That includes downstairs. Also, if you can remain seated throughout the docking procedure, that'd be great. I don't want to knock any of you guys off balance, but on behalf of myself and Michelle, we hope you guys enjoy the tour. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us as you guys get off the boat. We'll be out there accepting donations for the much needed joke book and helping you guys get off the boat. So once again, thank you very much for coming.